Right. Hello and welcome to the Zonal Weakness brought to you by Gono Football Fantasy and powered by Fantasy Football Scout. And of course, we are back for game week 19. We are nearly half the way of the season. So, yeah, it's rather getting interesting. And we are recording this a little bit earlier. Just one match has already finished between Newcastle and Manchester United. So, some of the data are still not yet updated. But however, it's still kind of the current stats or the data that we have will still be able to provide us a little bit of an idea as to who's going to occupy which particular space, but at the same time, which zone of a particular team looks weak. And that is why we are back. So hope everyone has had a very good Christmas. And of course, is the festive fixtures that's ongoing. So we are back here and of course trying to cover this up. So let's get started immediately with the game week 19. And here it is, the game week 19. And if you haven't followed or liked or subscribed, then please do so because we are producing regular content. And of course, all the stats that you see are taken from Fantasy Football Scout members area. If you're interested in the membership, please do click in the link in the description below. Gono Football Fantasy is the only page in Bangladesh that is part of the Scout network. So, yeah, your support would be very crucial to continue this work that we are doing here in Bangladesh. So, yeah, thank you so much. And please do like and leave a comment if you have any questions regarding the zonal weakness or anything that you want to ask us. Right, let's move on straight to the fixture. And this is, of course, the slide one that you get to see. And the most important one, of course, starts with Sunderland versus Manchester City. And as you can see, Sunderland seems to be weak from all the particular sides, be it the right center or the left flank, and in terms of crosses as well. And obviously, Foden and O'Reilly has a good possibility of putting their names in the score sheet. I know Foden has gone blank a couple of weeks, so this could be a lot of managers might be losing patience, but this could be a match that could provide us a bit of a potential for Foden. With 37 chances considered down the right flank, but also Cherki, who might be doing well this week as well, given that we have already seen it in the zonal in the last week. So this could again be a good match against Sunderland. So game week 18 and 19 could be actually be very important for Cherki. And Haaland, of course, is a captain shout for game week 18, but in game week 19 also he looks like to be one of the leading candidates for the captaincy, given the fact that Sunderland have actually considered 20 chances and are ranked the worst. Rangers, who has scored in the last game in game week 17, could do well as well in this match. Again, if he tends to occupy the center area, given that the weakness of Sunderland seems to be quite vast. And in terms of the headed considered, again, Haaland stands out here with 19 chances considered by Sunderland. And in terms of crosses, of course, we could really see O'Reilly coming in this particular space with right flank, 73 crosses being considered by Sunderland. And of course, 76 crosses coming from the left flank. So Cherki could again find himself in the assist as well. So I would suggest that we keep faith in Foden, Haaland, Cherki, and Rangers, whoever has, and O'Reilly as well. I think some of us have a combination of these five players. So, yeah, that is that. Moving on to the next fixture, and of course, it's Manchester United versus Wolves. Manchester United looks to be a bit confident given the fact that they have beaten Newcastle 1-0 last night. And right now, it seems Mount and Dalot could do well, particularly from the left flank, where Wolves seems to be a bit vulnerable, given the fact that they have considered 28 chances on the worst side. Now, Dorgu might also occupy this particular space, given the fact that we have seen him play in this position yesterday. So, yeah, Dorgu could also do well. But again, if Dorgu tends to play in his particular area, which is the right flank, then that would be an important area as well. Wolves in particular looks a little bit stronger, given they have considered only 16 chances and are ranked 10th worst. Now down the center, Sesko, who hit the bar, could do well in this particular match, along with Casemiro in terms of the headed conceded. As you can see, they have conceded 19 chances down the center and are ranked third, but 14 headed conceded down the center and are ranked sixth. So this could be another area that Manchester United could exploit against Wolves. Should be a good scoring match, but you never know. Wolves tend to be putting up a little bit of fight against the stronger team, given that they are doing the low blocks. Liverpool versus Leeds. Now, this is a match that tends to be very high scoring if we look at the previous record. But again, this particular match, it could be Wirtz and Kerkez who could likely to do well. 22 chances considered by Leeds down the right flank. This is where Wirtz could play. And of course, Ekitike, who's in a good form, could also do well. He's not colored here. He's just outside our scope, ranked sixth. So that's why it's not colored. But again, this is an area where Ekitike could still do well, given the fact that they have considered 18 chances. Frimpong is likely to be starting this week, and Kiza as well. But yeah, Frimpong could be an outside chance as well, with 17 chances down considered by Leeds down the left flank and are ranked 11th. Burnley versus Newcastle. Now, Newcastle's away record seems to be a bit poor in comparison to their home record, but that does not mean that Walter couldn't do well. I mean, Wissa is also back, as we have seen. So Walter and Wissa both could do well against Burnley down the center, as Burnley have actually considered 19 chances and are ranked third worst. Excuse me. Gordon and Barnes, and as well as Hall. Lewis Hall really looked impressive against Manchester United, making some really good moves and good runs down the center, but also down the left flank. And of course, providing some of the key passes there. Gordon looked sharp towards the second half and against Manchester United. So this could be another match where he could put his name in the score sheet. Now, particularly from the right flank of Burnley, given the fact that Burnley have actually considered 21 chances and are ranked sixth, slightly outside our perimeter that we mark. So that's why it's not colored. But yeah, we could likely see Newcastle really exploiting the right flank and, of course, the center. Then it's West Ham versus Brighton, and both the fixtures are covered here, as you can clearly see. Okay, let's start with, of course, Brighton first. And Brighton, as you can see, it's Gomez and De Kuyper who could do well down the right flank of West Ham, given the fact that they have considered 25 chances and are ranked second. Ruta and Welbeck. Welbeck should be back in the squad again after his injury. And this down the center, they could really do well. Both of them, Jorginho, Ruta, and of course Welbeck. I don't know who's going to start. We are not sure. So please do keep an eye on the press conferences. But again, whoever is occupying this particular space would likely to do well, given the fact that, West Ham have actually considered 20 chances down the center and on the worst side in terms of chances considered down the center. Minte, one of the most direct players that we have seen from Brighton, and he could also do well in this particular fixture from the left flank of West Ham, exploiting their weaknesses, given the fact that 24 chances have been considered by West Ham and are ranked third worst here. In terms of crosses, again, David Gomez and De Kuyper, but also Minte and Kadioglu could also do well in terms of the crosses, with 91 and 75 crosses coming in from both flanks. West Ham against Brighton. I don't know. They have a match against Arsenal this week, so this could be an important match, but that would give us a bit of more idea as to how Brighton might fare against West Ham. Not that, West Ham seems to be a very strong side, but again, the tiredness and the congestion fixtures could actually creep in, and a bit of fatigue. So that could be a factor. But however, at least the data suggests, you can see that 22 chances have been considered by Brighton down the right flank. So this is where West Ham, Somerville could occupy their space and do well. But Bowen also could likely do well, along with Walker-Peters down the left flank of Brighton, with 28 chances considered by Brighton. And they are the worst side from the left flank. Nottingham Forest versus Everton, and we are going to cover both the fixtures here. And Grealish is the one we would tip according to the Zonal. At least the Zonal indicates Grealish could do well in this particular fixture, given that Nottingham Forest have actually considered 22 chances and are ranked third. And in terms of the headed considered, Keane could do well, exploiting the weaknesses of the aerial balls by Nottingham Forest, where 17 chances have been considered, headed chances have been considered, and Nottingham Forest are ranked fourth worst. Nottingham Forest, on the other hand, could actually exploit the weaknesses of Everton, particularly from the left flank, given that they have considered 23 chances and are ranked fourth worst. So this is something that we could see. But 𝐙𝐸 𝐤𝐧𝐶 could also do well with 17 chances considered, headed chances considered, and are ranked fourth worst. Moving on to the next slide, and I'm not going to really touch upon, just like Bethany does, on all the key fixtures, but rather I'm going to focus on the ones that are marked. So Aston Villa versus Arsenal, this will be an important match, given Arsenal is now currently top of the table during Christmas. So yeah, that would be important for them. And it's not really much in terms of the center and also down the left flank or the right flank, but it's in terms of the right flank crosses coming in. This is where Trossard and Martinelli could do well, given that Aston Villa have considered 58 crosses down the right flank and are ranked fifth worst. Fulham versus Crystal Palace, again, nothing much really stands out except the fact that from the left flank, the number of crosses conceded by Fulham seems to be a bit concerning, with 63 crosses coming in, and they're ranked fourth worst. So this is where 𝐸𝐞𝐬𝐬 and Klein could do well. Tottenham versus Brentford, and this could be a fixture that could see a lot of goals, given that fact, the former coach of Brentford is now currently the coach of Tottenham. So Kevin Schade could do well in terms of the crosses and get his name on the assist. And yeah, 58 crosses conceded by Tottenham down the right flank and are ranked fifth worst. But again, similar goes for Brentford, who are also seems to be, in terms of the crosses, have shown a little bit of weakness from the right flank, conceding to 58 chances, 15 crosses, and are ranked fifth. This is where Kolomouani and, of course, David Spence could actually do well. Let's move on to the team of the week, and not much really a surprise, with Haaland, Walter Mada, and 𝐸𝐞𝐬𝐬 making the striking position in a 3-4-3 formation. Reeds, Foden, and Ruta and Minte, rightly so, out there, given that they're facing some of the weakest opponents. Lewis Hall and O'Reilly and Dalot, as we have seen in the zonal weakness, are also kind of occupying this particular space. So yeah, this team particularly looks pretty strong, and those of you who still have their wildcard might be able to activate a team, because these are the teams that fixtures are turning. So yeah, particularly the three strikers and of course the three defenders, along with Foden and Reeds, could actually likely to do well. Maybe perhaps just one game week for Ruta and Minte, but after that maybe it's his time. So for the wildcard, this could look like a good team for a bit of a longer term after game week 19. But also this would also create a scope for you to also play your bench boost if you have it, or also you could use this if you have a free weight team as well. Well, that's all I think for now for game week 19, and I could please do enjoy your vacation, and yeah, we will see you very soon again next week with the zonal weakness for game week 20. But until then, Merry Christmas to once again, and enjoy the new year, and we will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.